Hi, welcome to Surviving Motherhood. Have you ever felt guilty about things? I think you probably have if you're normal. Even if you're not normal, you probably have felt guilty about things. And I've been thinking a lot about that this week, and I want to tell you why. See, in my Bible study group, we share prayer requests with each other. And one of the ladies in our group had a family member living with her for quite a while. And it was her mother-in-law. And she moved out recently, and my friend put in the prayer request that week. She said, updating us on what had happened. And then she says, please pray that I will be able to let go of the guilt of not having done enough. Who can't relate to that? So this past week, another friend and I were talking with this friend whose mother-in-law just moved out. And my other friend asked a question that I thought was so important to consider. Referring to the statement, pray that I can let go of this guilt of not having done enough. She says to her, who told you that? And I thought, yeah, that is really important to remember. Who told you that you were guilty of not doing enough? And I think you probably know who I'm going to propose told her that. It's the enemy of her soul. It's the devil himself. And it just made me think about how many times I have heard that same voice regarding kids, regarding family relationships, regarding friends who need something, and I wasn't able to be there, or whatever it was. You get that overwhelming feeling of, I'm not enough. I didn't do enough. I feel guilty. I feel terrible. I'm a terrible person. And you just have to wonder, you have to ask yourself, who told you that? Because I can guarantee it was not the lover of your soul. And that's the thing that I really have been thinking about. I think in my mind, there are two kinds of ways that we can look at guilt. Okay, I think the guilt that comes from our enemy. That's the guilt that makes us feel like we're not good enough, we're not adequate, we're not doing enough, translated, we're not good enough, translated, we're not worthy, translated. These are lies from your enemy. And I beg of you not to listen to him. Because you know what? There are times when we are guilty, when we should feel like we've done wrong. But I think that when our Father who loves us speaks to us through his Holy Spirit to tell us those things, I think it's going to produce in us what I call remorse, what I would refer to as regret for not having done something. Rather than feeling like we're a terrible person, it's going to motivate us to be more like Jesus. I think when the Holy Spirit speaks to us in correction, even in rebuke, he does it with the intention that we would become better, that we would become more like Jesus, that we would rely more on him. That as a result of what he's saying to us, as a result of us feeling bad, we're going to seek him more. On the other hand, when Satan tells us we're guilty, when he tells us we're not good enough, it doesn't drive us closer to God. It drives us farther away from him. It makes us feel like we're not worthy of him, and we're not, but he still loves us. But when the enemy of your soul speaks to you, when he tells you you're not good enough, it drives you away from your Father. And so I want to invite you, if right now you're feeling like somebody is saying to you, that's not good, I want to ask you, who told you that? If it's the enemy of your soul, then you flee from that. Let it go. Flee from it. If it's your loving Father who's telling you that's not good, then confess to him you're right. And run to him and ask him to help you, because you know what? He loves you and he will help you. whoever you are, today or tomorrow or next week, when you hear that voice, ask yourself, who's telling me this? And then respond by running to your Father's arms. Okay, that's what I've been thinking about. I pray that it's a blessing to you. And I pray that you would go now and have a wonderful, Jesus-full day.